Welcome to the Activity Call Live. Now let's hear it for our special guest host, Jake and VeRae Joseph.
Woo! Holy smokes, everyone. What is up, the Alliance family? Welcome to today's The Activity Call. We're already January 5th, everyone. 5th day of the new year. We are cranking and churning, getting things done, using these calls to help make sure that we're staying on track, staying focused, we're not falling behind. Thank you so much, Andy and Jane Albright, for having us on here, for trusting us with sharing with the team, teaching our people, teaching others people. We really hope that this is going to help share a couple good golden nuggets, as we call them, and help some people use a couple things today and help further their goals and further their targets here in the new year. I know with that being said, we've got a couple things to kick off. So as we all should know, we've got being the 5th day of January, we've got only a couple weeks left until our first big national event to kick off the new year. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got National Convention kicking off January 26th, 27th, 28th of this month of January. So with that being said, as we are getting closer, we all should know that we've got some early bird specials going on. That's right. As of today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today is the last day for the $349 special. My understanding is at midnight tonight, midnight Eastern time, that will go up to the full price of the $499. So if you don't have your ticket, this is a call to action. Yes, I'm talking to you. If you think who me, yes, I'm talking to you. So if you don't have your ticket right now, go lock it in. $349 right now at midnight Eastern. It's going to go up to the full price of the $499. You don't want to miss that. Hey, and if you've already got your ticket, look at this. You building a team, you've got some people you want to bring with you. Start calling your people. Have that call to action for them. Maybe you pick up another one because you may talk to someone brand new between now and the 26th. So get that locked in, get your flights booked. I've seen still crazy airfare prices, not that crazy expensive. Get your hotels locked in, get figured out, pair people up, sleep in a bathtub, sleep on the floor, sleep in your car. We might have some people sleeping in their cars. Not a bad idea. Especially if the stuff you're going to take away from the weekend. So please go in, lock it in, $349 up until midnight.
Awesome. And then another little housekeeping announcement that we wanted to go over is today is the last day to go ahead and nominate that Chris Long Finalist Award, guys. So for those of you that don't know Chris Long, he was, part of the Alliance for years and years, helped build the Alliance. Jake and I never did get to know Chris as much as we'd like to. But one thing that I know about Chris and Courtney is that they're a beautiful family, beautiful couple. We got the honor of listening to them speak one time in Treasure Island, Florida. And they just reminded Jake and I of ourselves, high school sweethearts, wanted to build this business together. So whoever gets awarded that it's really a true honor. I know that he left a mark on a lot of people in this company. So if you don't know him, maybe ask your upline. But today's that last day. So I know we've got some finalists that can be found on the ARC under news and notes. It can also be found on the Facebook page. So I think there's 5 finalists, something like that. But definitely go in, get your vote. I think that deadline is also tonight at midnight Eastern. So go ahead and vote for your Chris Long Finalist Award.
So we've got that going on. Yeah, please go vote for that. That is such a cool award for those top people that have been recognized as a finalist. So yeah, go in there, get that done. The other thing is, please, I know we've talked about it before. I know you hear it everywhere. theallianceevents.com/hotspots, but theallianceevents.com in general. Okay. This is where you're going to get all of the info and all the details, all the nitty gritty stuff that you need, not only to build yourself up, to build your business as well, to share, to be a river and not a dam, to get this info out to your people, to let everyone know what leaders are going to be where. So theallianceevents.com. It's going to give you all of the info for our big events. So National Convention 2024, you don't know where to get the tickets, theallianceevents.com, you click on events and it's going to be bam, it's going to be right there with the dates. They make it super easy, big red button, buy tickets now. You'll go in, put in your info, get it locked in. Okay. You've also got your promotions for the big trips, like our yearly trips, our incentive trips.
Yes.
So it was crazy. I was not expecting Andy to announce the Cabo San Lucas trip for 2025 earlier on. So that's on there. Keep some dream building. And also most important too is the hotspots tab. So hotspots, so they call it a hotspot for a reason. You get around the fire. You've got leaders. You've got people like Gina Hawks and Clay Murtis from staff traveling around. You've got our CEO and president, Andy Albright, traveling around. You've got other top leaders all over the country that are spending time and money hitting these big cities where we've got people. Maybe you don't have people, but now you know where to start building your team and start recruiting some others. So use that. They just updated that to where you've got this bad to the bone map. So you don't even have, if you don't know where Atlanta, Georgia is, or if you don't know where Dallas, Texas is, they've got a Google map on there and they've got pins everywhere. So all you've got to do is zoom in on that thing, zoom out, see where things are going. And they've got all the details in there. So biggest thing there, being a river, not a dam, sharing that with your people. Everyone should know what theallianceevents.com is. So please use that resource. It's massive. We'll continue to be talking about that a little bit later on. But a couple things that we wanted to touch on today. I know Terry Edwards killed it last week talking about coming into 2024 and what some of his people's goals are. We had the pleasure of Marcus Setta jumping on Wednesday, which blew our minds. If you missed that, I don't even know if I'm sorry for you. You just, oh my gosh, it is recorded though. So go back and we got to watch it again. But a couple things is, setting goals for us is so important. That's one of the things that we wanted to talk about today is setting goals, having targets, and what that does for your business. From like the very first day we got into the Alliance, I kept hearing the fact that, hey, if you don't have a target, you might as well just be shooting in the wind, right? It's kind of like if you had a bow and arrow and you got a target in the hillside, you know where you're shooting. But if you don't have a target, you're just shooting into dirt. There's no really purpose. You're not driven. You have no idea if you're doing good or if you're doing bad. So really, what's the point there? So setting the goals, setting targets is massive. And one of the main things, I know we got a couple guests coming on here today that are going to be talking about it, but if I could help you a little bit, we'll talk to the brand new people, and I'll let VeRae shed some light on this. But for brand new folks, like an activity to be doing and putting in and a goal to be working towards is these big all expense paid trips. Okay. I'll put it to you this way. We've had some people tell us, oh, I don't need to earn all expense paid trip. I don't even, that cruise doesn't sound that great, this and that. I'm like, really? I'm so, okay, that's okay. But this is the thing. We got to look at it this way. You set your sights on one of the Alliance's all expense paid trips. You set your sights on Cabo. I don't care who you are. You earn the trip, you're going to be making money. I remember we were brand new in the business. We went to our first convention and we bought this set of books, and I'll never forget it because with that set of books, we also got an invite to a special call led by Terry Edwards and Brant Swindell. And it was it was a book for brand new agents. And they had this Zoom call, and it was specifically designed for brand new people. And one of their main topics was talking about the trips. And it was the Alaskan cruise. Our first year was the original Alaskan cruise. And I remember Terry saying don't worry about if you're making money or not, like focus on the trip, and you earn the trip, you're going to be making money. That's not a problem. Okay. If for whatever reason, if you don't like making money, well, hey, when you earn these trips, if you love recognition, if you like being the one that your name is called, you're walking across stage, well, that's going to fulfill that. That's great right there. I remember when people when people earned Cancun, they gave everyone sombreros to walk across stage. So that's pretty big deal there. But if you like the recognition, if you like having your name called, if you like being on the leaderboards, if you're competitive, earn the trip that way, right? If you're our otter that everyone knows of, right? If you love to have fun, you've got to be on these trips. All of the stories, all of the memories. We've built some great relationships with people all through the Alliance. And now every time we see them, we're always talking about, hey, what happened in Ireland? What happened in Aruba? What happened in Cancun? Now we get to create more memories through Alaska and through Cabo, through Mexico, right? So just so much big stuff there with the trips. Ray, what you got on that side?
I would just say Jake's right. You know, as a brand new agent, really what you should be focusing on is that trip, right? So this year you've got from January 1 till December 31 to qualify for Cabo. That's what your sights should be set on as a brand new agent. I know when I came into this business, it was December of 2018. So yeah, just to age us a little bit in the Alliance family, but December of 2018, I got my license, and we had our next big event was going to be National Convention 2019. And our upline had told us, hey, there's this all expense paid cruise to Alaska. Back then, though, we didn't get bonus points just for going to events, which we'll touch on a little bit. We got bonus points by jumping up the levels chart. But that was what I had my sights set on. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew that's what I want and this is what I was going to do. And taking it back to me in 2019, our kids were 2 and 5 years old. I was working at a doctor's office part-time. I was going to school full-time, taking 18 credit hours per semester. I had been doing that for the last 3 years. So I did not have a lot of time to do this business, but what I had to do was strategically plan how I was going to make this trip with the time that I was given. And Jake was not, he was in the business, meaning he went to the event, but he was still working his full-time job, which took up 70 to 80 hours a week minimum. Like 70 hours was his base. And then most of the time he was working 80 hours a week. So I told myself, okay, I want to earn this trip for Jake and I want to prove to Jake that I can do this and that he's going to join me in this business, right? So that was my ultimate goal. And I mapped it out. Jara and Joseph and Mike and Noel had helped me at the time. What do I need to do? What, how much premium do I need to write? They broke it down with me, not only by, okay, when is your goal by earning it? I had a goal of earning it by October my first year. And I was lucky enough that I started fresh. January 1, I was already licensed. So I had the entire year to do it. But just earning it by October, not only did they break it down, okay, this is how much you have to do per month, but this is how much you have to do per week okay, you have this many run days in the field. This is what you got to do to make it happen. And relying on our bonus points, which I think is massive. So so me being 5 years in, I can't say, back in the day, because Mike always tells a story where they used to like get leads and they, get them mailed and it'd rain outside and they were like, have the leads on the drying, on the clothespin rack, drying them. So when I say this though, we earned bonus points by jumping up the levels chart. Guys, this year and last year, they are making it so easy to get those bonus points. All you have to do is show up to the event. So speaking of that, so going to Cabo this year, so 250,000 points. So you have from January 1st, like Jake said, we're already 5 days in, so you guys better start hustling. You have from January 1st to December 31st to earn 250,000 points. And the way that works is dollar for dollar annual premium. So if you write a policy that's $100 a month, you multiply that times 12, that's 1,200 points. That's how many trip points you get. So if you write a policy that's $50 a month, well, you multiply it by 12, that's 600 points, right? So you need 250,000 points in order to be in Cabo with us. Now, the crazy thing is just by being a brand new agent with us, every time you attend a national event, so January is going to be our first one of the year, 25,000 bonus points are given to you. That's it. All you got to do is show up. So even if you're not sure about going to the event because maybe you're like a beaver or something and you're like, well, am I going to learn a lot? Just show up for the points, right? So that would be my suggestion, is utilize your bonus points. We've got somebody on here that we're going to introduce here later that has earned his first trip, his first full-time year in with the Alliance, and utilized the bonus points just like Jake and I did. So I get fired up about the trips. I've made just some of my best friends in the entire world going on these trips, getting to know people better, just having fun with them in different parts of the country. That's what I've always wanted out of this business. Yes, I want to make money, but I want lifelong friends, right? My love language is quality time. And I just love hanging out with people on the trips. I love the friends that I made. I love the mentors that I've been introduced to in this business. And I want to be respected by those that I respect. And I promise you, the ones that I respect are on those trips. So definitely, don't take it lightly. Get on those trips. Talk to your upline. You've got a brand new year ahead of you. There's no reason why you can't be there with us.
Yeah. And with setting goals, this is the thing, is we pulled up this little tidbit. Researchers suggest that only 9% of Americans that make resolutions complete them. In fact, research goes on to show that 23% of people quit their resolution by the end of the first week, and 43 quit by the end of January. So by the first week, like, there's some people, they're going to be quitting here in a day. It's been 5 days in. By the time we hit tomorrow, they're probably already quitting, right? So this is the key, is we have to join hands. We have to work together as a team, get around the fire. So that way, when you set these things, you can get with your growing upline and have them help you do the math. When do you want to earn the trip by? What are the total points you need? Make sure you're going to NatCon so it makes it easier to earn it, and just do some basic math. Divide how many months, how many weeks, figure out how much premium you need per week, and make sure your lead flow is up to that. You can't, without leads, and we'll talk about that later, but without the leads, you're not going to be able to earn these trips. So you got to make sure you have enough, a good enough flow for that. And also knowing that with setting that, is make sure it's a SMART goal, right? When we say SMART, this is something cool that we pulled up, is setting SMART goals. Okay. Goals that are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, and they're timely. Like, what better way? Again, we're not trying to sit here and tell you, hey, this is what you got to do. But again, I know earning these trips, Andy has designed this a specific way so it helps accomplish so many different things for brand new people. But being specific, right? Goals should be well-defined, detailed, and clear. Like, what is earning Cabo in 2024. That's very specific. I don't know how more specific you can get. You can probably get by timely, but we'll get into that. And measurable. How do you measure it? I love Belle Krause. She's got her chart that she colors in as she earns the trip. How can you get more measurable than that? You can physically see it. And on the arc, you've got your little thermometer going up as you get closer. Achievable, right? It is so achievable, right? You've got people who've done it before. You've seen people do it in 3 months and get this done. So for a fact, for using the trip as a goal, it's definitely achievable. Being realistic, oh my goodness, it is so realistic. We've got 360 days to earn this trip. And if you haven't even written your first policy yet, that's okay. Right. You can do it. It's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible with the resources we have. And timely. Yeah, set a date. We would highly suggest you don't set December 31st of 2024 as your goal. Let's get it done by November. So that way, in case you got some extra time there, but using those SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, is a great way to go at it if you haven't set goals yet. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to bring on one of our good friends here that's actually out of here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's been with us, since, is it July, August? This woman has just kicked butt and taken names. If y'all need someone like this woman on your team coming up, because what a light to have in your life. Like a magnet, just attracts people, having fun, brings that atmosphere and the environment and the culture that you want in your business. And with that being said, not only does she do that, not only is she someone that brings the team together and just has such a great attitude, she also has the numbers to show for it. Second month in the business, crank out 10 grand in premium, working. She's got 2 little kiddos at home.
Let her tell her story. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll let her go. I'm going off on a tangent. But if we could please bring up Megan Matheson. Welcome on.
Hi.
What is happening? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. It's a snowy day, but we are good. How are you guys?
We're excited. We're so happy that you're on with us.
Good. I know. I'm so excited. But yes, thank you so much. Like I'm super honored that I get to be on here. So but yeah, I'm pretty excited. This is going to be my first full year with the Alliance. So I'm excited for it.
Good deal. We're excited for you. You've done a lot of good stuff here, ramping up into the new year. So we know you're already on a rolling start to crank out 2024. So tell us, Megan, a little bit about yourself, a little bit of family, background, how you found us, what you've been doing, what you've been excited about.
Okay, so I feel super blessed because so I am a dental hygienist originally, kind of made my way from Virginia to New Mexico. We love New Mexico, everything about it. Never thought I would love the desert, but I do. And so I do a little bit of real estate stuff, but I really feel like my passion is here in insurance. I feel super blessed that I guess like 6 months ago, Sarah Seifert, when I first moved here, I found her in a mom group online. And, like best thing I've met online, probably Sarah Seifert. But so she invited me I had actually, so I was sitting on my couch 6 months ago at 6 a.m. and didn't know what I was going to do because realtors were taking all of my time. I could not, I just couldn't keep going. When I had to get out of a pool on Father's Day weekend to help a realtor, I knew I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, nope. And so Sarah had posted she needed an admin. And I was like, I could be an admin. So I messaged her and I said, hey, like, what is this admin thing? And she's like, you're a dental hygienist. I'm so confused. Why do you want to be an admin? And she said, you need to come to this breakfast. Noelle, she's flying in. She's awesome. I was like, what is this? She said, it's in finance and insurance. And I was like, well, that sounds kind of boring, but okay, I'll go. I was like, okay, like 2 hours. I talked to my husband. I was like, I don't know. This could be crazy. I'm just going to go. And met all of you guys, met Noelle, sounded awesome, saw the paychecks and you guys were all great. And I left there and kind of got on board with it. And I feel so blessed that I have had, you guys as mentors. And I never really wanted to work more than 1 or 2 days a week. And this job lets me do that and, still make good money, better money than dental hygiene and be at home with my kids.
How old are your kids right now, Megan? Just so that way people know.
Oh yeah. So I have a 4 and a 5-year-old. So definitely like these past 6 months, I feel have been learning my schedule, learning what works and what doesn't work and how to maximize my time, scheduling and all of that.
Good deal. Good deal. Awesome. Well, you've had a great start coming through, finishing up the end of 23, heading into 24. So share with, you're a whole different person from where you at when you were started. Mm-hmm. You've got so much momentum. So tell us a little about, what kind of goals that you've set for this new year and what you're doing, because I know for a fact, you spend a lot of time with Sarah.
Yes,
we all know
love her.
Stuff done very efficiently. So tell us a little bit how you're working with her, how you're setting some goals, what you're doing to help make sure that you stay on track and you get them done.
So I will say, like I said, these past 6 months, I've really used them as an experiment. And I know that's crazy, but jumping from hygiene to I'm an otter. I love having fun, but going into a home like sales job, like you got to really pivot. And so I've taken a lot of coaching, a lot of learning, and honestly, breakthrough was really big for me. I didn't really know what my goals were. I didn't I didn't even think agency manager. I was like, that's not like, I'll never do that. And then I wrote it down on the little blue card and I was like, maybe I can. Like, I should think bigger. And then Cabo, like, I want to go to Cabo with all my friends. So, this year I'm really I think I figured out what worked last year, and what didn't work. Like I can physically go through my activity book, did the same thing every week, consistency, like the same day, same dial time, adjust lead flow, saw what worked. I could see where I was lazy. I could see where I wasn't lazy. And so I think just set those goals, map out how the numbers have to work out, and definitely attend all the events because they're fun. You take so much away from it. And yeah, I want to go to Cabo, and that is like my biggest goal. And I want to read I'm definitely going to read more. That has to be a big goal because, positive mindset is everything going into this. So
that's huge. Yeah. I think, and you hit it, you said a word that I love so much is that consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And we know as you have your goals set up and lined up, is that consistency is key. Like without that, we'd be all over the place, right? And that's one thing we have seen you do. Like you are at the office every dial day, you crank out your phone calls, you book your appointments. Typically you're done by what? Noon, just because maybe at first it wasn't like that, but because you've been so consistent and you've shown up, you've been that team player. Because again, we know having me at the office is a ton of fun. New people come in, they see you dialing, smiling. But that consistency has allowed you to work more efficient. And setting goals here with the Alliance, especially sales goals, that dialing part is massive. So I know you keep your consistency that you have been, and you focus it on what goals you have. There's no doubt in my mind that you're not going to be hitting that. So, let's see here. Let's, Megan, just share anything else on your mind that you got for the new year, anything that you're excited about, what type of resources you're using. Again, just getting this thing started 5 days in.
So I think resource wise, like I'm definitely going to use like the CRM a lot. I know like lead wise, when I have a rough dial day, because when I was switching from 1 day to 2 days, because it was all an experiment, I'm like, what works, what doesn't work? And Sarah, I had to lean on her a lot for that because she was like, no, like you book 1 day first, you book the second day after that. And I was like booking them everywhere. And she's like, no, you fill 1 day up. That way you're not paying a babysitter if you're not making the most out of your time. So if I don't leave the house and I have at least like 8 appointments on the books, I know that it's probably going to be like just a bust. So, but if I see like 5 people in a day, I feel super blessed and happy. And like I made the use of my time. So I actually upped it from 8 to 10 in 1 day. And I noticed that like I left that 10 appointment day, I had to reschedule 5 of them. And I was just like, wow, I feel great. And, I didn't even have time to pee. So it was awesome. If you have time to pee, then you're probably not doing it right. And so yeah. But so definitely it was, tough going from 1 day to 2 day as far as dialing. But I will say, like, I really want to lean on the team. And I made that decision, like, every Monday, I'm going to come in and dial from the office. And if my time allows it, like, I'm going to stay there till I'm done. And it's nice because, you know, when you feel like the otters need the beavers and the lions, because if I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored, I can't do this anymore, you know, I have someone being like, so how's it going? Like, are you done it? I'm like, all right, I gotta, you know, I don't want to not do it. So if you put that pressure on yourself on dial day, I feel like it really shows on your run day, which it makes, that's what it's about, is having a successful run day to make your time like worth it. So especially only having 1 to 2 days a week, you know, but lead flow, definitely I find if I don't have enough leads, then that's where I'm ending up making like 500 dials instead of like 200. So I really had to I was like, what do I need to do? And I upped my lead flow, and I did take a little break over the holidays. So I'm excited to dial all those leads next week and just like nail it.
There you go. Yeah, you got an overflow of them. Well, that's huge because, like, I think it's big and massive for anyone who has a local office nearby,
Right.
and has a team of people that they can go dial with. Because I know it is, like you said, it's a lot more fun. Like, we need you here because, yeah, you being your personality, you bring a lot of fun to the table, right? And also too, it just, for brand new people, it helps you stay on track. For veteran agents, again, it just keeps it going. And that's how the Alliance is going to grow. That's how we're going to get this whole vision of going to 10,000 people at our national conferences. This is where it starts, right? We get tight together in all of our major cities as leaders are traveling. We make sure that we're treating it all the same. Like, just like this person shows up, we're still going to have 100 people there. This person shows up, we're still going to have 100 people there. Like, bringing everyone together and really getting that cohesiveness all together and being one. That's how we're going to get to 10,000 at an event. And I know we are, just sticking together and being one. And I think, thank you so much, Megan, for who you are and for what you do, because you're helping us. You're helping the whole team. You're helping your people. You're helping, you know, Drew's people. You're helping you're helping everyone that comes around here, because it shows who we are, what our culture is. So we appreciate you. We're excited to see what you get done. We're excited to be hanging out in Dallas with you, and we appreciate you being on. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
So, well, awesome. Well, hey, we got another one of our good buddies on here. This man, he earned his first trip here this year, 2023. Qualified for the Alaskan cruise. We are so fired up to have him and his wife on the ship with us, just having a blast, creating those memories, building more relationships. And so without further ado, if we could bring up Mr. Drew Chavez.
As Mike would say, Chavez.
What's going on, man?
Hey, thanks for being on here, Drew. Give us a little bit of background. Tell them who you are, where you came from, a little bit about the family, what you got going on, what you're excited about.
Yeah, no, first off, man, it's an honor to be on this call, man. I mean, all glory to God. And I mean, thanks to Andy for having a vision big enough to create the Alliance. And then just thanks to you guys, man, not just for the leaders that you are, but just getting to know you guys is just, man, it's been a ride, that's for sure. But yeah, my name's Drew. I'm here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Me and my wife, Ronnie, we have 6 kids between the both of us. Before I got into this, I was working customer service at a call center. I was in sales before. I did some telemarketing sales, some like hardcore telemarketing sales. We'd call people and ask them for donations. I got into a gig where I was selling websites one time affiliated with Amazon. And so I've done sales before, right? And then I got into the health insurance background. And like I said, I did customer service for Medicaid, Medicare for a while. And I just seen like, I was like, man, there's a lot of money in insurance. Like it's really complex. And I thought I wanted to go sell health insurance, like private health insurance to individuals. Found an ad on Indeed, found you guys. And yeah, I came into the business to sell health insurance because I knew there was money in sales. I knew there was money in insurance. And next thing you know, I'm sitting in a life insurance class. And y'all had told me about life insurance, and I was just like, yeah, I mean that sounds cool, I guess. You know what I mean? I really want to sell health insurance, but yeah. And then it just changed my trajectory from there, man. I'm just so grateful for it because I seen the opportunity in it, and it's been a blessing for me and the family. That's for sure.
I love it. We were, you and I, you, Jake, and I, we're always talking to you guys on the phone. I feel like it's constant phone calls and just going to show what type of person you are. Our kids love you. Reina, we hung up the phone. She said, "What would your guys' life be like if you did?" She goes, "What would your life be like if you hadn't met Drew?" And Jake and I turned to each other, and the first thing that came to my mind said, "It'd be a lot more boring, that's for sure."
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't laugh as much. So that's for dang sure.
Just appreciate you for being who you are, and also a light in our office and a light in our kids' lives. So
I love having you on, man. So, well, we know again, it's like, hey, we want to celebrate, the big stuff you've done. We love the fact, you and Ronnie qualified for the Alaskan cruise, got that in the bag. Now we're moving on though. It's again, day 5 of 2024. We're looking forward, not looking back. What are some, because you talk to us all the time about what your goals are. You're very visible with it, and you're speaking it out there to continue to remind yourself. So tell us a couple things, lay some groundwork of what sights you have for this new year, what you're looking to accomplish with everything that we've got now.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, as far as the trip goes, I can tell you one thing for sure is that when my wife found out that there were no kids allowed on the trip, she was like, "We are going to this trip." And like, so she helped me stay accountable for that. And I'm so grateful for her, man. No, but really just I talked about it with Noel and Joe and you guys a few months back. I just really kind of had an epiphany, and it was just like, hey, starting to treat this business like a business, because it is a business. Like if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. And so really focusing on, just like you guys said, focusing on earning the trip. I heard it from Mark Aceta. I can't remember how long ago, but he said, if you focus on earning the trip, like even if you missed it, you're going to make more money than you ever have. And it's so true. Like I'm a competitor, right? And I like to compete, and like it gives me something to shoot for. So this year, and not only that, but like all expenses paid, like literally all expenses paid. Like I'm game. Like we love to travel, and it's just, yeah, we're excited. But but in order to hit goals, I remember in Breakthrough, Mark Aceta was talking about like having goals without an action plan is just like a wish. I think Denzel Washington said it too. Like, you have to have something to back it up, and you have to take action on that too. And so my goal this coming year is to qualify for the Cabo trip by AEP, so which is October. And best believe I'm going to be at all 4 of the events. So that means I need 150,000 points. That means about 15,000 a month. And so that's issue paid. So if I'm an issue paid 15,000 a month, that means I got to write about 20 grand a month to qualify by October. Because I'm going to have I'm going to have a massive AEP this year. I'm going to actually do this health insurance thing I've been talking about.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that. That gives everyone a good look into like how specific we should be getting. I mean, you just laid it out, simple, clear numbers, and that's totally measurable. You've got a time mark, you've got a time stamp. Hey, I'm doing this by then. I know, I know with resources, obviously you've upped your resources as far as lead flow goes, so that way you can hit that. But that's the cool thing is you hit what I love. What Drew's is kind of like a double whammy, right? Is he's earning the trip and he's also making time so he can do like what his call. He's this guy. He's a Medicare guru. He knows everything about it. When we have something like that, we're calling Drew, right? And so now it's going to give him enough time so that way he can build up his Medicare side of the business and just completely go out there and kick butt and help a ton of people. So it's cool because once we hit one goal, it leaves room, it leaves a lot of room to help hit others, work more efficiently. So that's massive. I know the other thing I wanted you to talk about, Drew, because we've seen, like you said, making the decision to treat this like a business. And I love hearing that because I think so many of us, sometimes we get a little bit off track of that. And truly we're our own business owners, but we have to ask ourselves and be real. I'm even talking to myself right now. Are we treating this as our own business? Are we giving it what we should be giving it? And that's where we've seen a huge shift in yourself and the way you're spending your time and what you're doing. So tell us a little bit about, what you've been doing, ramping up to have 2024 massive with building your organization and on the recruitment side.
Yeah. One thing I want to touch on real quick is the events that you guys were talking about. National convention, whether it's national convention, hotspot, or view from the edge, but you don't know what you're going to miss. I made the mistake one year of having to leave early, and truthfully, I really don't know what I missed. But you take away so much from these events that just help you in your business. One thing that's always stuck with me is Mark Cassetta talking about how you view money. And it's like, do you view money as like a resource? Do you view money as like luxury? What do you view it as? And he's like, what if we start viewing it as fertilizer? And it just goes to, and I'm like that blew my mind because I'm like, seriously, like Marcus Richardson said it on a call we had the other day. He's like, the grass is greener where you water it at, like where you put the effort at, it's going to grow. And so, just really reinvesting back into my business is something that I'm grateful to have you guys as my leaders, because I see you guys do that all the time. I see whether it's travel, whether it's a new office space, whether it's whatever it is, man, you guys are reinvesting back into your business. So I'm thankful I got a leader like you guys to pave the way. But yeah, just investing in my business and not only recruiting, but the new office that we have here, I'm actually investing in an office space. And to be clear, like everybody that does this business knows that you can do it from home. Like I can do this from home, my basketball shorts on, watching college basketball, you know what I mean? Like I can do it. I've done that from home. But it's just like I've always wanted an office space to call my own. And now I'm so fortunate and grateful that I have it because it gives me a place to come do the work. It gives me a place where I can focus. I was working from home 10 years ago before it was cool, before COVID happened. And I knew it was never for me. Like some people love it. I focus more when I'm in the office. So whether it's investing in office space, now I got to find an admin, because now that I'm starting to treat this like a business, I realize there's a whole lot of back end work that comes along with this. And I have mad respect for any admin out there because it's work. And I'm an auditor at heart, man. So that's a lot of numbers. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good with that. But yeah, it's just really just like going back to treating it like a business, trying to grow my business. I know I've learned how to sell. I can always get better at that. But now I'm really focused on trying to grow a team. I didn't have that vision when I first came in. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I just want to make a little bit of extra money and and do well. And I seen the opportunity to grow a team. And so now it's just looking for other leaders. Because what I found out is that leaders don't just create great salespeople. Leaders create other leaders. And so that's what my focus is on now, recruiting and the follow-up, the art of the follow-up, man. Because I do good at the interview, but if I'm not following up, it's kind of like you go in and write the app and you lose it on the way home, then what's the point, you know? So just being more mindful and just utilizing the resources like you guys have talked about.
Absolutely. And I know that you and Jake have been working closely together, especially within the last few months. We had a call for those of you that were on it. I think it was Halloween night. I know that, or it was like the day before Halloween, but Andy talked about starting 2024 now. And that was back in October. And so one thing that Jake and I took away from that call and talking with Alex Avian, is really keeping track of our KPIs. And so, Jake, he likes those numbers. For me, that's super hard to do. Like, that's just not where my mind goes. And I don't think that's where your mind goes at first either. But I think, all of us have grown as a team doing that together. I know that we get together with you once a week and we have clear, coming back to those SMART goals, right? Coming back to those, just something that you can measure, something that's timely, specific. What is it? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So sharing those numbers with Jake and I, and I know one of the things that you've mentioned to us is that you would like to hit agency manager this year as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Most
Do you have
definitely.
a time frame of when you want to hit agency manager by?
Well, I wrote it down for NatCon, but I think I'm going to come up a little short. So I'm going to have, the cool thing is I found out that if you write a goal down and you don't hit it, guess what? You can write it down again, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, I want to say by the summer, by June, I'm finding some really cool people. I'm flipping more cards and finding some really good people. So yeah, I have faith. I'm going to do it by the summer.
Absolutely. We believe that you can, especially with, the way that you've been treating your business lately, what you've been doing, how you've been talking, just being more consistent and everything like that. So.
Well, hey, we appreciate you being on here, sharing some of your good stuff, Drew. We can't wait to hang out with you and Ronnie on that ship. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I can't. I'm like Ronnie. I can't wait to drop the kids off either. So I'm just kidding.
He's pumped.
But well, awesome. Well, hey, we just putting some sights on getting together with the growing up line is so massive, so important, so crucial, because we know we didn't do this by ourselves. There's no way. Right. We've had so many people. If I started listing names, I know I would forget some, but so many different people that we've pulled from, some even just like a couple conversations, that's helped us get to where we are now. So many different books, so many different audios, and really utilizing the resources that the Alliance system has. What Andy and Jane have built. If we can just, like, I love it what Drew said is, hey, making the decision to be treating this like a business, being a business owner. And I know for a fact that this year we are going to see new leaders step up, and we're going to see new leaders make big decisions, especially at big events, to where you're going to start, again, new names are going to be popping up left and right. It happens every year. We've seen it. And I remember, I think it was like my first event. And, if you go to your first event, maybe it's not everyone, but when we went to our first event, National Convention of 2019, January 2019, I remember seeing everyone up on stage, and I was like, oh, I'd love to be able to go up there on stage and talk. And I remember hearing Stephen Davies talk, and I mean, everyone remembers Stephen Davies talks. Like, how can you not? His leave an impression, just the way that his humor and his level of training is even more crucial. I remember him saying, though, is that he's like, I love it. I treat it with respect. It's an honor to be up here. And at the same time, I remember him saying he gets tired of sharing his story over and over again. He wants to hear new people up on stage. He wants to hear new stories, new names, new leaders stepping up and making something happen. And that's how we as a company are going to grow. Like, I see like 10,000 people in a conference center is going to be insane. And I don't know about you all, but for VeRae and I, to have 1,000 of our own there is going to be nuts. I mean, just keeping track of 1,000 people is going to be, imagine counting all those seats and making sure everyone's there. But I know this year there's going to be new leaders stepping up. I know there's going to be new people on the sales side that are just going to be kicking butt and taking names. I know there's going to be new managers that are going to be promoted and recognized. And so we're excited to see that. The question is, who is it going to be? Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is it going to be me? Are you going to make that decision to make sure that your name is one of those names, right? And in doing so, couple things that we have to take a look at, I just thought of the three main resources that hit me pretty hard was the fact that theallianceevents.com, that resource is so big, right? Our leads, our new subscriptions that we've got going on, and the heat map showing the counties where you can get, the leads at the lower cost, right? Traveling, getting out of our house, and utilizing these national calls, right? So using the allianceevents.com is, we all got to be adults here and make sure that, as leaders, we have to be promoting it. We have to be promoting it when there's people traveling around the country and going to different cities. Okay. But also too, as a brand new agent, like, you've heard it here. If you're on this call, you've heard the allianceevents.com, go check it out. You've got to be looking at that every day, because you don't want to see pictures on the Facebook page and be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so was in my hometown and I wasn't there. Like, what did I miss? Right. So be an adult, be a business owner, and take control of what you've got here, your own agency, and know that you're going to be the one in control and making those decisions. Don't be missing out on the local team. Again, you being there, it's either, remember I heard on two, either you need the meeting or the meeting needs you. And when I first heard that, I was like, why would the meeting need me? And that's just the way it works, right? That's just the way it works. So with the leads, we've got an incredible opportunity, and I'm so excited for this thing to roll out. Obviously, there's going to be more info down the road, but talking about the leads, the way that they're redesigning this thing to where we're going to be able to go in and see the counties that have the discounted leads. So again, if you want to go right in your backyard, hey, it might be a little bit more. If you want the cheaper ones, hey, you got to travel, but you got to make the decision. Imagine if you can get people on your team traveling to different counties. VeRae and I know 100%. I mean, tell them, what did you used to do when we first started?
Well, when we first started here in Albuquerque, there just wasn't leads. So, there was the ability to set up a lead subscription. So that's what I did right away. But when we first started here, I traveled down south to Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is right on the border of El Paso. So, that's a 3-hour drive, 3.5-hour drive. And I did that every other week. I would go and I would spend 2 days down in Las Cruces. I would sleep in a hotel. I would drive our 2007 Pontiac G5, praying that it would get me there and back. And that thing, by the way, is still going. Jake just took that thing to Arizona and back. But anyways, that's just a commitment that I made. Again, I was committed to earn the trip. I was committed to show my husband that I was going to do this, and this is something that we can do. And I had tried multiple things before. I had tried selling stuff on Amazon. I was in the medical field. And when I came here, I found, hey, this is a place that I could call home. I see other people having success. So I was going to do whatever I needed to do to have that success. So traveling, whether that means traveling 3, 4, 5 hours to go and write business, it's something that I committed to. And I did it I did it every other week. And I'd spend 2 days there, like I was saying. So, just having that mindset, I'm super fired up, just like Jake is, about the leads as well. We are so blessed to be a part of the Alliance. For those of us who started in the Alliance, we don't know different. But there's people, you've heard the horror stories. You go to other companies and they don't have leads. They're hiring people just to sell them. And then once they're done with them, they have to go find other people to sell to as well. So just having that conviction of what we have here in the Alliance is the best opportunity in America. And I truthfully believe that. And I know that, we're going to be filling the national conventions with 10,000.
Yeah, no doubt. Using, again, coming back to the system that we have from these national calls, again, oh my gosh, the one The one on Wednesday with Adam Katz and Alex Abian and Terry and Marcus Setup. Oh my gosh. If you didn't get anything out of that, you were definitely sleeping or you might have died in your chair because holy smokes, that was that was incredible. And you never know. You know, Marcus Setup put it perfect. You never know which one it's going to be that's going to make all the difference. It could be just a couple seconds that someone speaks, that you hear something, you can pull it away. And using our national events, God, the time is now. It's never been a better time with any better people. Like the leadership we have is incredible to where we've got people who have got our backs, who are supporting us. And now is the time again. Now is the time to come together closer than ever. So that way we can all help one another all across the country. That blew my mind when I first saw Show the Plan from Noelle. And she was saying, if you've got someone, you know, in Florida, you can send them to somewhere in California and they'll take care of them just as well as you would take care of your own people. Like I saw that and that blew my mind because that's where I knew we wanted to be. We wanted to make sure that we were working with people that we could trust. And from day one, we saw that. So y'all have that here at the Alliance. I mean, there's so much more that we could go on about, but right now there's so much good stuff happening with all the redesign of the ARC and everything else that we got going on. So excited for National Convention coming up here in Dallas. Couldn't be more fired up. The lineup of speakers, the people that we've got that are going to be sharing us all the tips and the tricks is going to be incredible. I love coming back from the events even more so because we get to see all of those people who do step up and make those massive decisions and put the steps into place, because then from January into April, you see all these people getting promoted and you're like, holy smokes, before you didn't know about them, now you do. So again, taking that leadership, being an example, and sometimes it's being serious about it and not waiting for your upline to do something, you know, to tell you exactly what to do. Is stepping up, figuring out for yourself, reaching up and making sure you're doing the right things. But other than that, I think I know we've got some great resources in play. We're excited for having a massive 2024. We know everyone else is. We know people are already running. So, hey, if you're just getting started, again, we're on the 5th of January. Set some goals. Reach out to your growing upline. Get some help. Again, you can't do this thing by yourself. I know. Say it again. Ray and I definitely did not do this on our own.
I'm super excited, guys. Dallas is going to be so much fun. Can't wait to see my Alliance family, but we're going to tune out. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for jumping on.
Thank you so much. Hey, get your tickets at midnight tonight. It is going up to the full price. So right now, $349. Get your flights booked. Fill up the car with some gas. Do whatever you got to do to get there, but we'll see y'all there.
Bye, guys.
Record.